We are back for another ZABAL game sesh. I got Metamo in the building with me today. We're going to be doing a little bit of building on Gnome Pear Club. I've been blessed with the opportunity of being invited by this amazing man over here to push me to get around to the NFT communities a little bit more. And I think I'm actually ready as a initial, I'd say still junior developer, learning my way around using these tools, and kind of giving a little lesson to my boy Metamu here so he can go off and build this Gnome Pear Club on his own. So how we doing today, Metamu? How we living? I hope you're doing well.
Yes, yes. What's up with you, brother? Appreciate you. Once again, my name is Metamove, founder of Rose City Web3 and now the Gnome Pear Club. This is a sub community of Frankie the Frog NFT project. They have two different projects out right now. Frankie the Frog, which is their OG collection. It's an animated collection that is inspired by what's it called, Rubber Nose art. And they just dropped not too long ago, the beginning of this year, their second collection called Nibbles, which has about 8 different characters involved in the collection. And one of those characters happens to be a gnome. And so I took the gnome portion of those characters. You know, there's bears, there's a raccoon, there's other characters, but gnomes really spoke to me. So I took those characters and I ran with them and started to create this community called Gnome Pear Club. And so, yeah, there's a sub community of Frankie the Frog. They got some dope stuff going on. They have a lot of collabs in Web3 with a lot of different other projects. They have a dope mobile game where they feature other collabs in their game. So, you know, if you're a project out there, you might be featured in their game. But what I took inspiration from the gnomes because I am into natural spaces, gardening. I'm into outdoor spaces and hiking and different things like that. I'm in Oregon after all. You know, we have the best the outdoors to experience. And so I wanted to bring something tangible to Web3. You know what I mean? Other than this, the camaraderie around the artwork in an NFT community, I wanted to be able to bring something from my life and my passions and my hobbies into the Web3 world and share it with my Web3 community. So that's the Gnome Pear Club. I have some pear trees in my backyard, specifically some Asian pear trees, and I want to try my hand at community building, distribution, and all the things that come along with building a community and shipping them free pears. You know what I mean? And so this is part of that mission to build my
I'm
community.
excited. We'll grow some pears in our backyard. We recently bought a house and need something to cultivate. So this is amazing. I'm excited to get sent some seeds. I know there's a bunch of fun things that are a part of it. But we'll
Nice.
just jump right in. I actually started a little bit of a build from a conversation we've had already. One of the things I like to do, and I'll give you like a pro tip. This is what I love to do, and this is why I love having conversations like these, recorded and live streamed, especially, so that other people can join in. But I take the recording, and then I have a skill in Claude, and a skill in Claude just means a simple automation that I say a word, and Claude will then proceed to do a kind of a workflow. And the workflow that I have is once I download the recording, I download it to my computer, I copy that URL where it lies on my computer. I put that to Claude and I say, dash meeting. And I'll take that and it will synthesize the conversation. It will update it to a repo on GitHub that I have as all of our meetings. And it'll also give a summary available for that other person then that I can then share with that person. So one of the things I like to do is when we have people like you up where we get a lot of great information about the organization, we can now use this to, after we get off this, upgrade the website with the conversation that we've had here. So that's kind of like that recursive model is very valuable for me because I can update fixes as well. Sometimes I'll just go in a recording on my own and look through my website and talk about it and then take that recording and just give it to Claude and be like, hey, these are like my thoughts on the website visually as I'm looking through it. And it can then with an MP4 potentially look at the actual image as well alongside it. So there's multiple ways other people do that, but that's kind of one of the ways I like playing around with it. One of the first tools we're going to be looking at here today is going to be GitHub. So GitHub can be kind of a scary place for non-technical individuals, and it definitely took me quite some time before I actually decided to uh, dive in deeper. But essentially, what GitHub is a collaborative place to share code, just like Google Docs would be for writing. GitHub is that place for code. So one of the things that's really cool about GitHub, if you ever see a GitHub link, is if someone's doing documentation well and properly, which I don't think we've done an amazing job yet here, is on their main GitHub page, when you scroll down or go into any folder, they'll have a README. There's a readme.md file, and that README is displayed in a markdown format such that you can actually see a little visual. So this gives a little shared, what I've got out of the Gnome Pear Club so far. Cozy gamified community hub for seed savers, bring back what's natural, founded by Metamu, who brought in Better Call Saul to build it via the Frankie the Frog ecosystem, this repo website, and eventual backend for the club. So whimsical gnome themed world you log into, you get a profile, bio, goals, favorites, and a home on a map. A daily check-in, tapping your tree earns you pears, points you redeem for rare seeds and items in a seed bank. And as you level up, you unlock rare outfits via badges and badges via crafting in a marketplace that lets you trade coveted items. It's a supportive, creator-friendly, creator-focused little economy built around growing your own. So I think that definitely exemplifies what you sent me. There's a lot of like small things here in that it has as the features that maybe a couple of them are things you've shared and a couple are additional. But this is just like a little bit of a simple taking like just our conversations we've had back and forth. And I put it into Claude and told it to build this repo essentially. So now what we're going to do here today is we're going to take this repo of code that we've uploaded to GitHub that's free. Anyone can make an account. I'm going to actually add you as a collaborator. Do you know what your GitHub thing is? Username?
Metamu 503.
Perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through a little passkey check real quick, and we're going to nope, not manage visibility. We're going to add people, and we're going to do MU or MLO?
MU.
And then 503, you said?
Well, maybe it wasn't 503. Go back. It was at the top of that list.
Just this one, MetaMo?
Oh, I guess it wasn't 503, yeah.
So I've added MetaMo here, which means that this is a public repository. So anyone can actually come in here and look at it. But now that I've added MetaMo to this repository, he can come in here and push updates to main, the main branch that will actually be viewed by everyone else. Otherwise, if he wasn't on here, because it is public, anyone can create a pull request to any of the leaders. So if anyone's watching this out there and it's like, no, we need to do it this way, they can actually go there, go to GitHub, create a pull request, and then Metamu or I can accept that pull request to main and it actually be on the landing page. Does that all make sense so far?
Not really, but kind
of. What doesn't make sense?
As far as I've gotten with GitHub is being able to, well, I'm sure you can see my repositories. I've been able to create the Gnome Pear Club quiz, which is like a website where people can figure out what type of gnome they are. So I know the general gist of GitHub. I know how to upload. I know how to, gnome type quiz.
Okay.
This is public, huh?
Yeah.
So my README only says gnome type quiz. So that's what you're talking about.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like
that's why it's like if I'm looking at this as a new person, I'm like, okay, I want to figure out what this. To be honest with you, I just yeet it into my AI nowadays. So it's like I don't read READMEs personally, but for people that I share my GitHub repos with, they'll take that link, click on it, and immediately look at it. So that's why the README is potentially very valuable documentation piece. And if you actually go deeper into a folder, so you actually have deeper in this folder in V2, you do have the README explained well. So version 2 expands this 3-type quiz. And we could actually grab all of this into the website that I make as well really easily. That's kind of the beauty.
Oh
But
yeah, put that there.
let's real quick pull this up to Vercel just so I can show you, and then we can the beautiful thing about a tool like an AI tool is sometimes you don't have to fully understand exactly um, how it connects up with things, because it can do the connectors if it can give you that right output. And one of the things with GitHub that's nice is you can actually have Claude teach you how to do and work with GitHub better and using those commands. So one of the things I'm going to pull up here is Vercel. Vercel is a free app up to a certain point, and what you can do is you can actually pair it with your GitHub account. So I'm going to go to Vercel here. I'm going to go to add new project. And in
Vercel is a plugin for GitHub, or it's a whole different website?
Vercel is a whole different website. What Vercel does is it hosts your website for you. Does that make sense?
So right now my quiz is hosted by GitHub, but instead of hosting
Oh
by
shoot,
GitHub,
we're getting some good questions by Nacho as well. Give me one second, Nacho. Right now, it isn't hosted anywhere technically. The code is hosted, but there's nowhere where your website is actually like on the cloud being hosted, where someone can go to like a URL on the website. Right? That's what this does. Is it gives you a
it
URL.
but it does, right? So like when I shared it in the chat, the Gnome chat, I have a URL. People click it and it says metamove/GitHub/Gnome quiz.
Yes. So how do they take the quiz?
It's on the website. Like click
So
it.
where is that website?
Here, I'll send it to you. Because yeah, that's why I hosted it through GitHub. Let me see. Let me find it real quick. Hold on. I should be able to find it in my stuff. Huh? Projects.
Aha.
I don't even know
I
how
see.
to.
So you use GitHub Pages. Yeah, I found it.
I don't even
So
know how to
I don't
navigate.
really understand.
I don't know how
Yeah,
to
yeah,
find
no,
it.
no
Just have to
worries.
get by.
That's kind of the beauty, because I don't actually fully understand how GitHub Pages works. I think it's just HTMLs, and that's why you were able to do this. Vercel does the same thing, but I that's it, yeah. I don't. I've never used GitHub Pages, so I can't actually speak on that. But I did find it in your GitHub Pages. So
So
yeah,
simple
so
HTML probably GitHub can host, but anything more
exactly.
than that,
So
then I'll need
so
Vercel.
what? So you don't need Vercel exactly for what you've built
No, I
here.
said I probably will because mine's is the idea is a little bit more complicated than simple HTML. HTML, but I think a
Yeah.
good layman's
So
way to
Nacho said good layman's way of saying it is it's like Google Docs or Sheets, but for coding. Yeah, as I said that earlier. I like that. I like that terminology. It's definitely clean. I don't know if a lot of people know what SharePoint is. I've only ever used that at a work in a work context.
Yeah, me too. So this is the simple thing that GitHub can host, but Vercel can host more complex.
Code, yeah, itself. Oh shoot, yeah.
You
So
might as well
that's
leave that
the
up. You might as well leave
that's
that quiz up because you haven't taken it yet for the club. So you better leave
okay.
that up
I
until
do. I have it up on my screen, but
just
let's just run through this real quick,
all right.
because I'm gonna also show you how to connect the domain to it, and we're gonna do like
Well, let's
gnome.thezao.com.
do the Vercel direction then, and I'll
Yeah.
start.
So I'm in Vercel. I have now connected my GitHub. I previously connected my
I
GitHub
can't see the
to
website
Vercel.
because your logo's
Mm,
all over the top or whatever you're sharing. I can't see your address bar. What's the Vercel website?
oh, it's just Vercel.com actually. VRCL.com. I'll pull it up here.
Agentic infrastructure.
I think so. Everyone's pivoted to agentic stuff, so probably.
I mean,
um,
that's just the landing website. I mean, that's the landing page.
yeah. There's a so logged in with GitHub is how I've like jumped in. But if you pop over here, you can see that once you're logged in with GitHub, you can see all your GitHub repositories. I see this Gnome Pear Club 55 minutes ago. I can just press import and actually just press deploy, and it's going to start deploying this. I'm going to actually go back to my Vercel main page, press refresh, and go to deployments. And we're going to take a look at the deployment as it's happening. Oh, okay, cool. 1 second. It was pretty instant. And we have it here. This is the, oh, yep, here, we'll switch over. This is the very simple web page it made, and we could now build on top of this. And I'll show you how to do that in a second. But I'm going to share this with everyone in the chat. Oh, that's crazy. SharePoint in high school is nuts. Before Chromebooks were invented. I love that. Nacho, feel free to ask any questions as well. But that Vercel app will get you link Metamoo. You should be able to now take that and use that as a URL to share.
I'm still trying to get into Vercel. Hold on. So personal.
It might make more sense to try and get in after, just because it does take a couple of quick seconds to set up. And okay. I want to show you like 1 or 2 more things real quick.
Okay, so I'd like to follow along, but what you did was you went to Vercel, you connected to GitHub.
Yep.
And
you can always come back to this as well.
You just the live repository. Okay.
Yeah, I pressed add new project and I imported the repository. When you press add new project, there's a repositories place you can type in. I searched GNOME Club and I pressed import. That's all I did. And pressed deploy once I did that. And then I just went back, but you could just wait on that page as well. So Gnome Pear Club, .vercel.app. And with that, we now have a thing deployed to Vercel. Now, this background is white. We don't really like it. Let's change that. So I'm going to show you very simply how you can use Claude Code to do simple changes like that without having anything downloaded to your desktop or anything of that sort. So we're going to switch over to Claude Code. So what this is just a different tab next to the home where there's the chat. The Claude chat cowork is under home. And then you can go to code up here. And when you go to code, there's this option for new. With Claude, you can also connect Claude to your GitHub. So mine is connected to my GitHub, and it gives me it automatically has actually picked Gnome Pear Club. But here, as you have 2 options. You have the place you want to set this up, and then also the repository you're in. So this one, I have Claude Code default. This is Claude Code in the cloud, hosted by, as you can see, there's a cloud there, hosted by Claude itself. So I'm in the cloud server, I'm in the repository that says Gnome Pear Club, and I'm on the branch for main. And I'm going to say, can we change the background so that there's a dark mode toggle in the top? And we'll say push. Oh, once it starts going. So what this is going to do is it's going to set up a cloud container. It'll clone the repository from where it's at right now. So if you have any code that's local to your computer, this will not be capturing that. It'll only be capturing what's on the internet already on GitHub. And then it will start Claude Code. And I'll say after this, push this to main when done. And we'll let that go. For a couple of minutes. It should be done very soon, but I'll pop this off and then yeah, when it pushes it to main, it'll automatically deploy on Vercel, which is really cool and powerful. So when you push the code up to main back and you update the repository on GitHub, once you update that code, the new code is read by Vercel, and it's like, okay, we got new code. Let's redeploy everything. And if it all successfully happens, your official website gets updated to that. So very shortly here, we'll be able to just press refresh actually, we can wait on the Vercel. Here, let me pull up Vercel. And what we can do is we can sit here. And when the Claude finishes, it'll actually automatically then deploy here. So yeah, we can actually watch this as well. So it says I'm already on the right branch. Let's look at the HTML files. Let me look at the other page too, since they're linked. Both pages have the same design, CSS variables with cream ink forest. I'll add a dark theme. Now adding dark theme variables. So it's changed the index.html file with 11 new lines of code and 19 new lines of code with the updating the nav bar, and it just goes and that should get you a very basic way of, if you want to start creating new things and iterating on different things, you can use the three tools. Claude, which does cost $20. I think you can do Claude Code on the $20 plan. GitHub, which is free, and Vercel, which is free up to a certain amount of usage, which is really powerful.
Okay.
And so the next steps, when we hop on the next time, what we're going to do is we're going to now share your screen with Claude up on Claude Code, and we're going to make pushes to the website with you typing. I'm just going to talk.
Okay.
So you can use that URL for everything. The next one, also, I can show you how to change that URL to a custom URL to whatever you want. So it doesn't say for sell.app as well. Because like we can make gnome.thezao.com, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's just going here and doing what I asked it to do. And it should be done shortly. And normally what you want to do is you want to leverage GitHub as a tool called branches. And that's how you can make sure you don't accidentally put code that's not correct up on the website officially. Basically, you can make a branch, you can test everything on the branch, and then when you're happy with all your tests, you can move and merge your branch to the main branch. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Cool. Do you have any questions?
No, right this second.
Okay, but yeah, feel free when you run through the Vercel things to even if you want to just like post it on X with a screenshot and tag me and ask me questions, or Farcaster. Would love to continue, like if there's specific issues. So it says it just took a screenshot. It sees the dark mode. So let me see. I don't think it actually deployed any of this code. It's just testing it. So yeah, once it actually pushes this code to the branch, you ask me to push the branch, that overrides my default branch. So I'll just push there as requested, committing now, and we'll see how it goes.
Dope. All right, man. Yeah, appreciate that, bro. Again, want to shout out you, shout out Zabal, shout out Zal Consulting for sponsoring this build session and also sponsoring, our membership, our first month's membership with Claude, to be able to start to build. So really appreciate that. Yeah, it looks like I just gotta like just dig in more and just kind of play around with it. And
So actually, so it just did happen. So you can actually see now it's published by Claude instead of me, which is pretty cool. But it says added to dark mode toggle to your top bar in both pages. If you go to that website, if I go to that website, if either of us go to that website, we can actually, sorry, I clicked on the wrong deployment. We can actually see what it looks like. So we'll get a quick preview. It starts in dark mode, which is great. This is super crisp and clean. And yeah, that was like what, 5 minutes from when I typed it in, less than. Yeah, so quick edits, stuff like this is super easy and manageable, and everyone should be trying things out and then just learning how to use Claude more. I really recommend it. At least understanding it. Don't get vendor locked in to any one thing. Try things out, but Claude right now has a lot of great capable tooling for non-technical folks to learn, especially. So there's a lot of other tools that I haven't even touched yet. But I'm trying to dive deeper into this Claude Code tool and make it easier for my team and users to use. So I actually have a repository called .files in my Better Call Saul repositories to help people that use Claude Code from our team be able to have my workflow and how I use it up there, and be able to pick and choose things there. So yeah, thanks MetaMove for popping on. It's always a pleasure talking to you. I think we're gonna have a lot more of these build sessions coming up, and I'm excited to have you, running the computer and driving the next session with me, kind of there helping you and walking you through. But you could see where like now we're just in a chat window updating this website. Once we've got like Vercel is connected, GitHub is connected. Now I'm just talking in Claude, just like I would be in a chat, but I'm actually making changes to a website that's out there. You like that. That should help lower the barrier to thinking about code as this potential. You need to understand how the code works itself to be able to leverage software, right?
For sure, for sure.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Nacho, for popping in. Anyone else who listens in, Metamu for being here, and we'll see y'all soon. Cheers.